We don't want anybody to reign over us. We don't want anybody telling us what to do, how to live, how to think, because we are the ultimate being in our lives. And to have anybody else to trample on that, they are getting in our way, and we want to do things our way. But where does that leave you? Like I said at the beginning of the show, almost 50,000 people killed themselves last year because, well, more than likely, they're doing things their own way, want to do things their own way, and got to the end of their life and thought, this is it. I got nothing. I don't want to live like this anymore. I don't know what to do. So I'm going to end my life in a tragedy of suicide. I mean, it's a horrible thing. But now even atheists today are starting to kind of wake up to the reality of, is this really where we want to take this society in this post-Christian culture? Carl Trueman wrote an article recently entitled, "In Our Chaotic Age, Some Atheists Are Rethinking Secularism." And he goes through and starts to discuss how atheists are starting to question why we are jettisoning Christian morality and what are we going to replace it with once we've done that. And he says in this article, what is emerging among some erstwhile left-wing intellectuals today is a realization that atheism, while an interesting theoretical position, offers nothing to address the deeper questions of life. And he goes on to write, serious questions are being asked by secular people. There are opportunities for discussion and dialogue here that we religious types should not ignore. As Kissin himself concludes, Konstantin Kissin is the popular dissident podcast, host of the podcast Trigonometry. And he wrote an essay about atheism. And in that essay, he concludes, the reason new atheism has lost its mojo is that it has no answers to the lack of meaning and purpose that our post-Christian societies are suffering from. What will fill that void? Religious people have their answer. Do the rest of us? And this is why, again, we go to the Word of God to find out what God has to say regarding our lives. And in Proverbs, which is the book of wisdom, and the beginning of wisdom is the fear of the Lord. But as you can continue to read, Proverbs 14:12 says, there is a way which seemeth right unto a man, but the end thereof are the ways of death. So we go along this way, we're doing it my way, we're feeling good, we're having all these quote unquote wins, and we're enjoying life the way that we want to live it. And the scriptures are saying, it may seem right unto you, but the end of it is death. And not just a death where you just cease to be conscious and you're just no longer feeling anything anymore. No, it's the death that leads to eternal judgment in hell. Another proverb says the same thing, just 2 chapters later. Proverbs 16:25 says, there's a way that seemeth right unto a man, but the end thereof are the ways of death. It says it again, because it's trying to get the point across that don't live the way that you want to live. Don't live a life that you think is fulfilling to you, because it doesn't matter whether you think it's fulfilling or not. It's up to the creator of life and the creator and the one who has the power over death. And that's up to God, whether or not your life is pleasing. It's not pleasing to you, but pleasing to him. And Jesus in the New Testament also discussed this issue of meaning and understanding why you exist and who you are and what you're here for, by way of letting his disciples know, and those who were following him and wanted to be around him and wanted to serve him, that he was saying these hard things to them. In Mark 8:34, it says, and when he had called the people unto him with his disciples also, he said unto them, whosoever will come after me, let him deny himself and take up his cross and follow me. So if you want to follow Christ, it's all about denying yourself. It's not about doing things your way and just enjoying life the way you want to enjoy it. If you want ultimate meaning, ultimate fulfillment, it starts with denying yourself and following Christ.